Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, all-pro record-breaking cornerback, and the last cornerback to intercept 50 interceptions during the 16-game season era. Yeah, that's me, Mr. Pick Six, and soon to be Hall of Famer. Yeah, they got to put your boy in there. More noise I make out here, the faster they got to put your boy in there, man, because that's what it's about out here these days in these streets, these social media streets, the football world, and everything going on, man. It's Thursday Night Vibes. We got a lot to get into. There's a lot of football to talk about. College football is in full swing, and it was some exciting football going on tonight. One of my good friends, a couple of my good friends and good buddy old pals played tonight, and we're going to talk about it, man. Let me bring on my co-host, 2-3 Drees in the building.
What's up?
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Marlon, man. Shout out to my day ones in the building, man. Talk to us, we talk back, man. We have a lot to discuss, man. I hope y'all got to tune in to Norfolk State versus Townsend. Man, the good brother Michael Vick is out there putting on trying to get it going as a head coach. Let's just say it like that. But we're going to talk about Michael Vick. We're going to talk about Boise State. You know we had to talk about Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones. What is going on out there? A little bit of Antonio Brown. You know me and him is always going at it. And yes, the party don't stop. He tap in, I tap in harder, And we're going to tap into the Miami Dolphins and see what a disgrace is going on in Dolphins Nation, man. Miami Dolphins. Man, we got to think of a nickname for the Miami Dolphins because they can't get right. And I can tell you right now, man, they ain't getting right no time soon.
Oh, man.
Shout out to the chat, man. Salute to the chat, man. Y'all talk to us. We talk back. How you doing, Drees? How you doing tonight? You feeling energized and well-rested, ready to go?
Let's go, man. We less than 7 days away from the NFL season. College was in full swing tonight, man. A lot of games that went on. You took a peek at Mike Vick. I took a peek at D-Jack, man. It's going down. Football is really, really back now. So
football is really back. And guess what? Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson, they will be playing this year. That is going to be an awesome game. We have to support the young brothers out there doing their thing, first-time head coaches. Man, and let's talk about it, man. Like I said, Norfolk State versus Townsend. I know we haven't heard of these teams that much, but Michael Vick bringing a lot of attention to these teams. That is one of the reasons he is hired as the head coach for this team and to be the leader of young men. But like I said, the good brother made his coaching debut tonight. How did he do? It was a rough one for Coach Vick. It was a little rough. It was a little rough for Coach Vick, but a lot of things he can learn from. That's the good part about it. The first game as a first-time head coach will always be a learning experience. I don't care who you are. And Coach Vick has a lot to be proud of tonight. He did some really good things out there tonight. Coach Vick has a lot to be proud of tonight. Coach made his first big decision. And guess what? It was at the quarterback. It was at the quarterback position. I don't know if he pulled the first-string quarterback or he pulled up in an injury. But anyways, he had to decide who will come in and relieve this first-string quarterback. And he brought in his backup quarterback. And I must say, this is the good thing about coaching and criticizing coaching. I like to look at the quarterbacks first. And when I say both quarterbacks look like they were well prepared to play this game tonight, they were well prepared. And that's a good sign of good coaching heading in the right direction. Shout out to Coach Vick. Clap it up for Coach Vick. That is a good sign. That is a good sign. You know what I mean? It's not easy to have two quarterbacks able to run the offense how it's supposed to be ran. And both quarterbacks did that. The backup quarterback, Oda Coons, I hope I'm saying his name right, Oda Coons did better than the first-string quarterback. And that automatically creates controversy at the quarterback spot. It seems like all the football teams out here have a little controversy going on at the quarterback spot. So, I mean, that young man did a hell of a job. Oda Coons, he came in there, relieved the first-string quarterback, and he did a very, 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 really a very good job, Where things broken down at for for Norfolk State. I think it was on a 3rd and 20. It was a broken play. And Townsend scored on a long strike. Right after Norfolk State just had scored. And that took all the momentum out of Norfolk State and Coach Vick. It took all the momentum. It was 3rd and 20. It was a broken down play. They had just scored. They had held Townsend to 13 points the whole first half. Came into the second half, shut them down, held them to 13 points. Then they broke down on 3rd and 20. No safety in the middle of the field. That was just overall bad football.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good point for Coach Vick to harp on to his team and to the defense. Things like that cannot happen because they was on their way to win that game. That's a play that's on the DBs. That's on us DBs. We're going to get that right, man. I think a little confusion. It was a bad snap. They wasn't sure if the ball was high, it was offsides, it was a penalty, or so on and so forth. But, you got to live with it. You got to always be ready. There are no excuses out there on the field. But overall, Norfolk State played a good game. Norfolk State played a good game. Yes, they did.
You got to definitely show Mike Vick some love because this is first time coaching in the NFL, in a college level. A lot of times you come in as like a coordinator or something like that. No, he just went straight into a head coach. So to be able to handle that first one time on the field, of course he's going to adjust and do what he do best and coach these kids up. They're going to learn from that. So it's just exciting to see where it's going to go from now until the end of the season to the next season and just watch them grow. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. Tilt your camera down some. But yeah, man, both them boys got there. I don't know if D-Jack won yet tonight. Soon find out, man. I had to lock in on Boise State and Michael Vick. That was the channels. The games I was able to watch, man. Like I said, overall, man, the game was Norfolk State played a pretty good game. They did a really good job. They did some good things and they did some bad things, right? The game was a little sloppy, as expected as a first-time head coach, and it needs a little more discipline. But those are two things that can easily be corrected by the good old brother head coach, Coach Vick. And starting with the offensive line, of course, if you can't block, you can't get anything done. And then those penalties, man, they had some key penalties that killed the momentum of the game, and that hurt the team from building and building and building, Once he clean up those penalties and get that offensive line together, man, Coach Vick will do a pretty good job on the college level. He will do a pretty good job, especially from what I've seen tonight. He will do a really good job. That team has some athlete, has some talent. He has some guys that can run around. I'm concerned about the front seven, the physical part of the game. But you're going to turn up when you get them recruits.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now, I was going to say, I actually tuned into the Dell State game versus Delaware, and they lost to Delaware for the past 12 years. It had been close. They've been losing by like 30-plus points, and it's actually a 30-point underdog today, but they actually kept it close throughout the whole game where it was like one possession, and they would give up a third down and let them score or something like that. So it was like close the whole game until those clutch moments, and a lot of times it was like a simple slant where they give up for a touchdown where that play could have been prevented. It wasn't like a big difference in the game, and they actually did way better than a lot of people expected at Dell State. So shout out to DJ. I know he's gonna correct those mistakes, and I think they were saying because they would open up the season for like
we're gonna get to DJ. We'll get to DJ in a minute. Yeah, but so DJ them didn't pull it off, but he played close.
It was close at points where it's like in between one possession and then they give up a big play and they we go back to 2-possession game, you know what I mean? And they'll come back a little bit and they pull away a little bit. So it kept going like it's getting close, but it was way better than expected because it was a 30-point underdog.
Yeah,
and they lost,
man. That lets you know how what you inherited when you're a 30-point underdog, man. That lets you know there wasn't nothing before you got there, man. Yeah. But for Michael Vick, getting back to Michael Vick and Otter Coons, man, Otter Coons, like I said, he looks good, and that is something he can build off of for sure, man. But overall, it was hard for the offense to get much going because the blocking was not good. That's usually typical for teams. I don't know how and why it's so hard for coaches to find offensive linemen. Maybe that's the diamond in the rough out here that everybody has to look for. But when Adekun came in, the backup quarterback, you know, that offense started making plays, man. Adekun came in, and that offense started clicking left and right. It didn't look traditional. You know, he made plays with his feet. He made plays with his arm. He could run the ball left, he run the ball right, and he can throw the ball on the run. Adekun, man, gave that team a lift for sure, man. The offense had a few touchdowns called back as well, you know, because of penalties. Things that can be corrected. Little things can be corrected. But for one of the touchdowns that got called back, Norfolk State actually scored on the exact next play. So that kind of evens out. But little things like that, you know, little plays like that need discipline can easily be cleaned up, you know, by Coach Vick. They can easily be cleaned up. Another good part of the game for Norfolk State that I seen was on the defense. The defense gave up 13 points in the first half, right? And then during the second half, they pretty much had shut Townsend out for most of the second half, pretty much until the middle of the fourth quarter. When Norfolk scored, made the game 13-7, boom, that's when they had that breakdown and gave up that 3rd and 24 touchdown. That's what lost the game for Norfolk State. They was on their way. They was chomping at the wood. They was grinding. You know, it was an exciting game. I can't lie. It was pretty exciting, especially when Adekun came into the game. But overall, like I say, man, Coach Vick did a good job tonight. Norfolk State, they look like they have something in that division, in that conference. So gonna continue to support Michael Vick. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. I ain't forget, man. And make sure y'all are supporting Coach Vick and Coach D. Jack over there, man, out there Delaware State, man. Coach Vick did a good job tonight, man. Clap it up. Adekun, clap it up for Adekun. Hope I'm saying it right, man. So D. Jack, man, what did the score end up being? What did the score end up being? Do you have the final score?
It ended up being 35-17. But like right at half, it was 7-3, right up between halftime. Delaware came and did a 2-minute drill, scored with like 30 seconds left in the second half. In the end of the first half, and that kind of pulled it away from 14-3. They came out in the second half again and scored again. So it kind of like pushed it up, but they fought back the whole time and made it like a 1-possession game until like the very end. So they actually fought back, being a 30-point underdog.
We'll talk about D-Jack game tomorrow at the Coach Prime them as well. You know, Coach Prime them play tomorrow at Georgia Tech. Can't wait. That's going to be exciting, man. See how Coach Prime handles his first season, man, without his boys there, man. So I know everybody excited to see that. I am, as well as 2-3 Drees. And I know Coach Prime ready to show the world that he needs to be recognized as one of the best coaches in college football. Sure. You got to find that motivation, man. Everything you do in life, you have to find some motivation somewhere, somehow. And I know that is one of those things that Coach Prime is reaching out for, man, and the goals he is setting for himself on college football level. But Boise State, man, what a surprise, Boise State. Can y'all believe it? Do y'all believe it? You know, Boise State is the 25th ranked college football team in the country, and they lost. Right up there to the college near you, man, in Tampa, University of South Florida.
Throw them horns up.
But you know what's so significant about this game is they had a Heisman Trophy candidate on this team, but he didn't win. And that's what I want to talk about. Just a year ago, Boise State was being talked about as a potential team that could potentially play for a national championship. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. It was just a year ago this team was a potential national championship team. Now, when you think of how one player impacts a team, tonight was proof for Boise State. Without Ashton Jeanty, Boise State ain't nothing. Boise State ain't nothing without the Heisman Trophy candidate. Even though Ashton Jeanty didn't win the Heisman Trophy in the voting, I think the first couple of games will show us who was more important to their team out of these Heisman Trophy winners in Travis Hunter and Ashton Jeanty. That's how I'm looking at it. Because what I seen tonight, it showed me how important Ashton Jeanty is or was to Boise State. I mean, they couldn't do anything. Defense looked bad. Offense looked bad. The quarterbacking looked bad. Ashton Jeanty made all these things look better. That's what good players do, leaders do. Everything looks better. And I think Ashton Jeanty's impact on his team was much greater than Travis Hunter's, even though he played both sides on the football, even though Travis Hunter played both sides of the football. I think Ashton Jeanty's impact was much greater than Travis Hunter. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Let's debate it out.
I disagree
Y'all
with
debate
that.
it out with me. Y'all let me know. Huh?
I disagree with you because it's times where actually Travis Hunter made plays to win the game, and we, like he made fourth down stops. He made interceptions when it counted. He scored touchdowns at the end of the game to win the game.
Okay, Ron, you said something big right there. He made plays to end the game, right? That's your statement. That's your debating statement, right? I can't hear you.
Yeah, but I said,
say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he made plays to win the game. Guess what Ashton Jeanty did?
Put up more than 7 points.
Ashton Jeanty controlled the game from the beginning to the end. Now, what's the difference?
Yeah, they only put up 7 points
to win the game. One player controls the entire game from the time of possession to the defense getting rest, not having to play that many plays, to the quarterback not having to make great passes and things like that on long yardage. Come on, talk to me.
Now, listen, if I'm had to put a vote in, I'm putting my vote in for Travis Hunter, man. I never seen nothing like that day in my life where he playing both sides of the ball, then the whole game and making plays on both sides, like the way he was. Like you always got your player where you switch him on a few plays on the other side, but he played dinner the whole game on both sides and made plays both ways. Like he Heisman, he deserved what he got.
All right, I hear you. But you have to have someone to get that ball to Travis Hunter. I hope you know that. Sometimes it's hard to find a quarterback that can even get the ball to the wide receiver properly. Ashton Jeanty, you just hand the ball off. He going to knock 3 players over and bounce from 7-8 yards each play. That is controlling the game. Now, I'm not saying he should have won the Heisman, per se and things like that. But I'm saying what player had more of an impact on their team? And I'm saying right now, as these players are going and move from this team, they're not in college football no more. Ashton Jeanty is very important to that Boise State team. They was in the top 10, if I remember correctly, talking about potentially being a national championship contender.
They the playoffs.
Now, they is a piece of nothing. They look like nothing out there. Boise State didn't even have 100-yard rush. And when Ashton Jeanty was there, I mean, he was putting up almost 180 yards a game or more, something like that.
In the first half.
In the first half. Now I give it to Boise State. Yeah, they were playing from behind most of the game tonight, but still, they didn't even have 100-yard rushing. Matter of fact, they had 2 running backs that didn't have a combined total of 100 yards rushing.
That's true. That's true. And they only put up 7 points.
And they only put up 7 points. I forget the name. Gaines and can't remember his name. But Jeanty will be missed much more than Travis Hunter, man. That's just how it's going to be. Obviously, we're going to see tomorrow. We get to see what Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs go out there and do, Boise State lost 2 games last season with Ashton Jeanty there. And those two games, now I give Boise State credit again. One of them, I think, was the first game of the season against UCLA, and then it was like the third game of the season against Oregon Ducks. So if they're copying, mimicking last season, then they lost the first game of this season. Okay, boom. Maybe they're gonna win the next one. But that team doesn't look nothing like that team last year. That looks nothing like it. All I got to say is Ashton Jeanty is the college GOAT, man. Boise State looked horrible tonight against South Florida without Ashton Jeanty, and That's just the way it is, man. That's
Definitely.
how it looked out there to me, chat. If anybody watched that game, L-Dub, man, he said, Boise State O-line was dominant last year. Maybe that was the key. Point it out. Show me some facts. Did they get drafted? Are they still there? Were most of them seniors? I don't know. But all I'm saying is Aston Genty made a big difference. He made a huge difference, man. He made a huge difference. Now the Dallas Cowboys, America's favorite team. Eagles hate them.
Is that still America's team?
Is it, y'all, man? I think we might have to sign a petition, get a petition going out here.
Is that still America's team?
Is that still America's team? Should the Philadelphia Eagles be America's team now? Maybe the Philadelphia Eagles
I don't know.
America's team, man. But Dallas Cowboys, man, it's been a media circus, man, ever since the offseason started, heading into the training camp. You know, when it's time for players to get paid, we feel entitled and we act like little brats. We act like toddler brats, baby. Give us our money or we are ready to crash out. And guess what? Micah Parsons called Jerry Jones' bluff and requested a trade. He thought he could bluff the old man, Jerry Jones, and he requested a trade. So guess what? Jerry Jones granted Micah Parsons his wishes and got him the heck out of Dallas. Now, in life, you got to watch what you ask for sometimes. I mean, when sometimes you think you're asking for things, you see all the positives, You don't look at the negatives. There's always pros and cons to everything. Micah Parsons, he asked to be traded, and he definitely got what he asked for. I bet Micah Parsons didn't think Jerry Jones trading him would actually come true, but it hit him in the back of his head when he wasn't looking. Jerry Jones like, man, I could go buy me some more friends in the draft. What is wrong with you, Micah Parsons? I'm trying to be nice to you. He had no clue Jerry Jones would do this to him. Now, y'all hear me out. I think trading Micah Parsons is a step in the right directions for the Dallas Cowboys. Yep. I predicted this. I said Jerry Jones should trade Micah Parsons and gain a lot of equity in the draft. And that's what happened. Someone hear me. Y'all don't think people hear me because I'm a small channel. Y'all grow me big. They'll have me everywhere because I'm telling it what needs to be told. And then they try to come and take what I say and reword it and things like that. But I've been said this, and y'all heard it in the last live or whenever the live was. Yes. Trade Micah Parsons and get some first-round draft picks. This is the Dallas Cowboys taking a step in the right direction. Jerry Jones is deciding to take control of his team and demand reinforcement in Dallas, baby. This is what this is all about. Jerry Jones don't want to be known as the money man no more. He want to be known as the guy that's going to get it done and deliver wins for his team and for his city and things like that. If y'all can't tell, this is a clear message to the players for the Cowboys that you will get shipped to the middle of nowhere if you don't get a deal done in Dallas, especially when he offering you record money, and record money is on the table because that same contract, to my understanding, was pretty much offered to Micah Parsons. But I guess Micah Parsons didn't like the way that money was offered to him. He said, offer it to me through my agent. Last time I checked, all checks cashed the same. You know what I mean? Of course, he's going to talk to your agent. You got to get the language right eventually. But when I tell you Micah Parsons will regret this decision to request a trade and ended up in Green Bay.
That's all I would have asked you, man, because I know what you said about Green Bay.
This is going to be the biggest regret of his NFL career. This is going to catch up with Micah Parsons. Y'all trust me. Mark this down. Micah Parsons had no clue that he would end up in Green Bay. That's why I say watch what you ask for, because you never know what you're asking for that can possibly happen. And Green Bay is a cold, boring city. Let me tell you, it is nothing like Dallas, baby. It is nothing like the team he was born into. He gonna have a total culture shock. I mean, total culture shock. Let me tell you how, because I experienced it. When I went to New England, I'm coming from Fort Lauderdale. I'm coming from Lauderdale all the way down south. I went to the University of Central Florida. So I'm in Orlando, and I'm in Florida my whole life, pretty much, 3 hours away. I get drafted to the New England Patriots. I have to fly into the Providence Airport in Rhode Island. I have no clue about this stuff. I don't know where these places at on the map. I barely know about New England. Let me tell you, I get to New England, I buy my first condo. I turn on the electricity. I get me some cable, get some Comcast, turn on the TV, and I'm looking for channels to watch. I'm just telling y'all about my culture shock. And the channels that I normally watch is BET. I can't find BET. BET is nowhere on the channel.
They had BET?
BET is nowhere on the channel. So what do I do as a 22, 23-year-old young man, first time living on his own, basically? I call the cable company, and I'm livid. I'm like, hey, where's BET at? Well, I'm trying to find BET, my show on, this and that. They acting confused like they don't know what I'm talking about. Hey, they like, long story short, they don't have BET where I'm living at.
What?
And that's when I woke up and I was like, I haven't seen a black person yet. Me going grocery shopping, me buying furniture for my condo and things like that. I haven't seen a black person yet. Man, when I tell you I was instantly panicking, man.
At the side of
But
America.
let me tell y'all, man, if y'all don't know nothing about Green Bay, there are not too many players, if any, that get drafted to Green Bay and are happy about that. Ain't too many players. Micah Parsons better get ready for a long, boring 4 seasons, baby, in Green Bay. And I hope Micah Parsons loves football the way he is supposed to, because football will be the only thing he has to do in Green Bay. There will be nothing else to do. All those old things he used to do in Dallas and the way he used to having fun. Yeah. And Jerry Jones already talking about having 4 first-round draft picks. He's already talking about that. Like I said, trade Micah Parsons and gain equity in that draft. Now, he's talking about it already, but is he bluffing? Or did Jerry Jones do something this season to make his team better? Let's listen to Jerry Jones talk about Micah Parsons.
Well, without being too broad, obviously, we did think it was in the best interest of our organization, not only the future, but right now, this season as well. We've gained a Pro Bowl player. We've gained a Pro Bowl player in an area that we had big concerns in on the inside of our defense. First of all, I want to tell you that I really like Micah. I appreciate the 4 years that we've had him here, and he's a great player. And so we are very appreciative of the fact that he's a great player. Gives us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years. We not only do that, nothing says we can't use some of those picks right now to go get somebody right now. Don't rule that out.
Give us 4 first-round draft picks in the next 2 years. He was aggressive when he said that. He's excited. That's what it's about, man. Some of these players, man, are overrated. And I know they look like they're great and they do one thing pretty great, but, you know, that can be a little deceiving. But I want to know, to you, Dries, and to the chat, to the world, who won and who lost in this trade? Who won and who lost in this trade, Dries? What do you think?
I think Cowboys actually won this trade. I'm not gonna lie, man. He honestly didn't want to give up that much money. He didn't have to, and got a defensive tackle that he liked, that he feel like was gonna make a difference, and also 2 first-round picks. So I mean, he saved money and got some equity. So I feel like Dallas Cowboys did exactly what they wanted to do. And listen, hopefully they screw that up.
So you think Dallas Cowboys won in this trade over Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, Green Bay trying to win right now. They paid them a lot of money. They gave up the two first round picks for the next 2 years. So it's kind of like they want it now. And I don't know if they got enough power to get it right now.
Well, here's my take, man. Here's my take. Who do I think won in this trade out of Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys? And to me, there is no losers in this trade. Both teams won in this trade to me. This is why, right? Green Bay wins because they are adding to a much improved defense from over the years. You know, Green Bay is known for being horrible on defense, right? They were already ranked 5th overall in total defense from last season. So Micah Parsons is putting up, let's say they was already ranked 5th in total defense from last season, right? So Micah is just adding on to that, right? As of right now, he's an outstanding player, and he's going to fill in a role that is lacking production. Now, I think this is where we get it twisted at with Micah Parsons. How great of a player is he? You know, I don't think Micah is that awesome of a stud player where he's doing crazy things, right? You know, he isn't putting up numbers that are like unbelievable, right? Micah Parsons isn't putting up unbelievable numbers, 17 sacks a game, 15 sacks a game. He's putting up consistent numbers a year in sacks, right? Right? His consistency is the key. That's the key with Micah Parsons. 12 sacks, 13 sacks, 12 sacks, 14 sacks. Micah Parsons, you know, he's more consistent than anything. And at the end of the day, I always have to bring this up. Back in the days, they had 16 games to accomplish these goals. He has 17 games to accomplish what people were doing in 16 games back in the days. But that's the name of the game. So we got to go with the flow, 17 games to accomplish what he's accomplishing. And I don't like the Packers. One thing I don't like for the Packers is that they had to lose the 2 first-round picks to get Micah Parsons. But at the same time, it's showing that the Green Bay Packers, they want to win right now. And based on the numbers, based on their offense, based on their defense, this can be a key part to helping them win right now. Will it happen? Can they win the division, the NFC, what are they, the NFC South or whatever they are? I don't know. If the Lions, can they beat the Lions? I don't know, But like I said, the Packers went for the position that they are lacking in the most. Mm-hmm. And they went for a very impactful player to add and boost that defense. So that is a huge add to that defense, man. Last season, I can't think of the outside linebacker name. The highest sack total was like 7.5 sacks per game. With Micah Parsons there, that easily grows to 10. Micah Parsons draws a lot of attention, and he runs the quarterback out of the pocket, pressuring him a lot of times, and that ends up in the hands of the freebie sacks for other defensive linemen at the end of the day. Right? Now, that was why the Packers win, right? Now, the Cowboys win because it's time to rebuild, man. It is time to rebuild for the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys aren't winning no time soon. I know it sounds good and they feel like they can. The Dallas Cowboys aren't achieving any, especially, like I said before, with the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders in this division, right? It's time to rebuild, and get some very productive players, to replace Micah Parsons in the first round. Same way you went out there and got Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb. Now he has 4 opportunities in the next 2 years to get 2 Micah Parsons and 2 CeeDee Lambs. That's the beauty in building that equity, right? You get tired of one player, you know, I can get rid of you and I can bring someone else in. Now, here's the key. Here's where it shows who Micah Parsons is, right? Cowboys ranked 3rd in sacks last season. You know, Micah Parsons totaling 12 sacks. You know, Micah Parsons was a key factor in the Dallas Cowboys being 3rd last season in sacks, with the, you know, him being having 12 sacks as a high on the team. The next closest to him was 5, right? I see the Cowboys taking a step back in the sack department, right? Because Micah Parsons is gone. They may take one step back in the sack department, but maybe they will be more consistent defending the run without Micah Parsons running up the field trying to get those sacks. And that's the difference. Defensive ends, they run up the field when their specialty is sacks, to get sacks. And that opens up a big gap, a big hole for running backs to run in. Yep.
And he a smaller DN, so that's what he did. He used his speed to go around these tackles to get these sacks, and that opened up all the big holes. So that was a big thing that people did, just run at him. If you want to get some yards, go run right at him.
Right. You made a good point. He's a smaller, explosive DN, so he's not holding up gaps like that too strong and too long. You know what I mean? And the one thing people don't see from the outside looking in, like fans and things like that, defense ends like Micah Parsons are a liability against the run because they sacrifice so much for those sacks. And like I say, y'all don't see that. The fans don't see that. They don't see those plays that are bad plays that we see in defense by a defensive end like Micah Parsons, when there are big old gaps and the running back is running and just has free will. And they expecting me to make the tackle, and I'm 180 pounds. The running back is 220 pounds, squatting 750 pounds, full speed at me without even being touched. And now I'm in trouble and I can't tackle because my defensive end wants to run up the field and it's 1st down and 10. And we know it's a run play. That's the things you got to watch out for, these entitled superstars, you know? And that's there's an outside run and the hole is big enough for a truck to run through. That's because the defensive end is running up the field, thinking it's a pass play or wanting it to be a pass play and disregarding any run plays because he wants to sack and he wants to play selfish. That's the one thing, like I said, about us in New England. We were disciplined. We ran a 2-gap defense. Wasn't no running up the field. And no, we didn't have as much pressure either, but we was very consistent and we did our jobs. You know, and the Packers finished 8th in sacks last season. That's pretty good. They had a total defense, I think, it was in top 5 total defense, and they ranked 8th in sacks last season. So with Micah on board now, man, that should give them a huge boost in the sack department. Now they can possibly be 1, 2, or 3, just like the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe they take the Dallas Cowboys spot, that being that Micah Parsons is gone, and now the Cowboys take a step back. But I don't even understand why Green Bay Packers was so pressed to sign Micah Parsons. And they just played the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card game. And in that wild card game, Micah Parsons didn't show up at all. He was acting tired, cold, and hurt. I don't know what was so convincing by the Packers to make this blockbuster trade for Micah Parsons, unless it was out of being desperate. That's the only thing I could see out of it, being desperate, meaning we have to win the championship this season. We want to win. It ain't coming out of my pocket. So let's make the owner spend this money, give up the future draft picks, because we have a chance to win right now. We got to the second round of the playoffs last season. You know, we fought a good fight against the San Francisco 49ers, but with Micah Parsons, we get over the hump. Man, Micah Parsons is laying down in the playoffs, man, especially out there in the cold. Man, Micah Parsons ain't dealing with that cold, man. I don't know, man.
He only
Green Bay
got
is
one.
different.
He only got 1 sack in the playoffs.
Exactly. And they don't understand that. That's what Jerry Jones was talking about. As soon as I pay you, now your productivity goes down. And that's what I want to talk about now. Now, what does the future look like for Micah Parsons? Does Micah Parsons get paid and become a player to help the Green Bay Packers advance in the playoffs? Or does Micah Parsons be content with life after getting paid and start to fall off and lay down like he don't care no more and the money is in the bank? What do y'all predict for Micah Parsons? What do you predict, Dries?
I think he want to prove himself. I think he want to like
prove what?
To Dallas, like, listen, I was worth the money. You know what I mean? Just try to throw it in Jerry's face, especially like I seen an interview of him saying like, yeah, me and Jerry Jones cool, like that's my guy. And then he feel like he like this whole offseason and he felt like he been betrayed by Jerry Jones. So I feel like he trying to like prove and sticking in Jerry Jones' face, like, listen, I was worth this money. I'm the man. You know what I mean? So I think he could go hard, at least for the first season, just to prove his point and try to win Defensive Player of the Year. The Packers actually, the last 3 top players they traded for, they became Defensive Player of the Year in Green Bay, which is Reggie White, Charles Woodson, and then they got Micah Parsons. So he might be trying to come Defensive Player of the Year, you know, after the trade. I can see that in the trajectory, man. He wanna hop in that Defensive Player of the Year because he haven't won that yet, you know.
Yes, okay, but y'all throwing out accolades. Y'all know how I feel about these accolades and awards. Yes, he absolutely can go over there and win Defensive Player of the Year. But what will be the sacrifice when he wins Defensive Player of the Year? You ain't listening, Dries. You ain't listening.
You said
he goes out there and get Defensive Player of the Year because he's running up the field and he have 20 sacks. They're going to be last against the run. And they will not go into the playoffs because they can't stop the run no more. You know what I mean? You can't go out there and that's why it's so important to have the role players, those players that's going to do their job. Micah Parsons isn't that player. He's that entitled brat. When it gets cold out there, he ain't going to be able to stand up in the paint. You know? But I think he has 1 or 2 years of playing some hard football. 1 or 2 years left of playing hard football. And then I think he will start politicking. He'll start politicking around there. And when I say start politicking, I mean he'll start picking and choosing when he wants to play hard. Some games he'll play hard. Some games he won't play hard. Some games he won't even dress out because an unknown injury is bothering him. That's what I mean he will start politicking. And when that happens, when Micah Parsons start politicking in Green Bay, he has no reason left to be in Green Bay. So what's next after that? He's going to start crying again. It's time to get out of there because it's going to be cold and ain't going to be nothing to do. You can have all the money you want to spend, but man, it's going to be boring spending that money up in Green Bay. I can tell you that.
I remember when you said I'd rather take half to go somewhere else instead of go to Green Bay, but that $136 million guarantee, you ain't going to Green Bay?
And you think these owners, you think they don't know what they're doing, man? We in a spat with them or a little fight, whatever you want to call it, with the owner, and then they decide to trade us. Yes, they know Green Bay is a place that us black folks don't want to be traded to and things like that. They do this stuff on purpose, man. They do this exactly on purpose. They know what they're doing. I'm sure there were other teams ready to make a trade for Micah Parsons, but being that Jerry Jones felt disrespected because he didn't want to make a deal with him, I'm going to send you to Green Bay. Yes, sir.
Bill Belichick send you to Cleveland.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. But yeah, man. So that's it for the Dallas Cowboys. We already can see, man, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm predicting they're going to end up last in the division behind the New York Giants. Yeah, the Giants will come ahead of the Dallas Cowboys this season, but you're getting rid of some sour apples out of the bunch. So maybe things may take a turn. You know, like I said, Jerry Jones is trying to reinstate that. And reinforcement over there in Dallas. So maybe things work out for the good, you know.
They definitely got the first round picks, man. I'm surprised they got 2, but they made a good move right there.
Yeah, but man, the Miami Dolphins, man, Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, Chris Greer, Mike McDaniels, the whole crew, man. Hey, let me just say this. I can't believe what I've been hearing or what I've heard. I can't believe what I've heard. Listening to the Miami Dolphins press conference. What I've heard listening to the Miami Dolphins press conference is very, 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 very concerning. Everything I said in the past, unfortunately, stands to be true. This general manager, man, where did they find him from? General manager Chris Greer has basically given up on the team and the season for the 2025 season.
Why you say that?
Exactly. And they haven't even played one game yet.
Dang.
And you're going to hear why I say that. It's so bad. He knows his team will stink up the field this season.
Oh, man.
And what's so bad about that? He is the general manager responsible for the roster and the players that come to the Miami Dolphins. And he knows and he can see how horrible this team is going to be by the roster. Because I don't think he understands what he's looking at on the field. He don't know what he's looking at during practice. Nah. And it's quite obvious to me, man. It's quite obvious he trades key players on the team because they are intimidating. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He traded Jalen Ramsey because I think Chris Greer was intimidated. Jalen Ramsey is intimidating, man. I don't know what Jalen Ramsey is doing to these coaches, but they don't want to be around him. And let me tell you, what we're about to listen to from the general manager of an NFL team has to be one of the worst speeches I ever heard from a general manager, especially heading into the season when the season is 7, 8, 9, 10 days away. This has to be by far the worst speech. Man. In this speech, Chris Greer sounds defeated already. He sounds like he done gave up.
Already.
And like I said, does he even understand what a good team looks like in practice? Because he gave up. And I don't even know if he understands what Mike McDaniel sees. Here's Chris Greer talking about his team, man. And he is the general manager of this team. Listen to Chris Greer. This is pathetic.
People have always been respectful and nice, and they just say, hey, keep going, appreciate you. And so it's been, the guys to my face have been nice. I know there's people that are upset, but that's any job. And if I was comfortable and saying I felt great about what things are, then I'm an asshole because I'm not being realistic about where we are as a team and where things are going. So after last season. So I'm frustrated like they are that we didn't win enough games last year. So I understand it. Like I said, I don't take things personally, but when I'm out, people have been generally, very positive and stuff to me. But I know there's guys. I mean, I've gotten some colorful emails with from a couple people, including hoping my kids die of cancer, which is a fun one. I was like, there you go. So that's why I don't take things very personal or real, because other people have other issues and stuff in life. So
he says, yes, I'm just like what he said, like everybody else. I know I'm not happy the way things are. I know I'm not happy where we at heading into the season, so on and so forth. And then he tried to do some damage control and said, no, I'm not happy about the way things ended last season. No, you're talking about your team right now and what you see from practice and your roster. And you're basically saying, this ain't gonna cut it. We have nothing on this team right now. And for me, so bad, man, like I say, being a South Florida kid, born and raised down south, never lived nowhere else, as a young man, I want to be a Miami Dolphins fan so bad. But something always stops me from being able to do that. Like this freaking video we just witnessed. I can't be a Miami Dolphins fan for 1 or 2 or 3 more seasons. I don't care who they sign. Unless they sign my son. If they sign my son, I'm immediately a Dolphins fan.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to make everything right with me, go ahead and sign my son. You know, and we heard about my son going through some issues. He needs to pass a few more tests. I think he needs to get a CT scan. If y'all haven't heard, the news is out. He's dealing with a neck issue from last season. So make sure y'all keep my son in your prayers and thoughts and things like that. But here we go, Miami Dolphins. Mr. Stephen Ross, man, the owner of the Miami Dolphins. Listen, I know you don't know much about me, but you can ask all around me. And you have to read between the lines and understand the real from the fake. But you're going to understand the truth about me if you go ask around. And this is my interview right here. Mr. Stephen Ross, whenever you're tired of the current coaches and general manager, I would gladly accept a general manager job.
Oh,
Whenever you're tired of the current coaches and general manager, I will gladly accept the general manager job. I already have a list of coaches to interview, and I can promise you this. When I'm a part of the team, you will have a disciplined team, and this team will have a winning attitude. You will see the difference in the atmosphere immediately with me as a general manager of your team. And you don't have to worry about me making friends with my players and my coaches and things like that. I'm not worried about making friends. I don't care about having any friends. It's all good. You don't have to worry about that with me. You don't have to worry about your players running the team. I will make sure I have everything under control. Because Miami is the place that can easily be a distraction to whoever the hell is down here. Anyone. It's not easy living in Miami and staying focused. I'm just going to tell you that. But you don't have to worry about any of that with me in the building. I'm born and raised down here. All the distractions and everything is going out the window. Everyone in that building will be held accountable. Starting with myself, all the way down to the receptionist, to the parking lot people. Everyone will be held accountable when I'm in that building. I'm telling you, Mr. Ross, I'm a great candidate for that job. I get the job done. No, I'm not going to do it. I don't do all those fancy interviews. My resume isn't, I don't even know where it's at. If you invite me for an interview, I'm coming just like this. I don't got no paper or anything. And I'm going to be very convincing. I'm going to tell you that. And let me tell you one thing. I'm going to bring Scott Pioli with me, Mr. Stephen Ross, if you're interested. Scott Pioli, make sure you have your phone close to your hip, because I'm going to be hitting you up when I get that call from the Dolphins. I'm going to need, we got some work to do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I think the news is pretty much out with my son, man, his injury, man. So some things, aren't to be played with, and that neck injury is one of those things to be played with. So if you're wondering why he hasn't been signed, it's solely because of that neck injury. It's something, that's very, very, very touchy. You don't want to play with those neck injuries, spinal cord injuries, and so on and so forth. But teams want to make sure the doctors feel 100% confident, something serious doesn't happen after him having a procedure and going back and playing football. That's what it boils down to, you know what I mean? But if he were 100% healthy, or his injury wasn't potentially so life-changing, threatening, he definitely would have been signed by now, you know what I mean? But Dolphins would definitely have signed him. Coaches look at neck injuries like it's close to the end for everybody. So you have to do a lot of convincing, a lot of tests has to get done for coaches to feel comfortable to sign you. So that's what's the latest and greatest going on with my son. He's staying patient and he's staying focused, and ready to play some football.
The next test in October, right?
Yeah, man. It's a CT scan.
Mm-hmm.
In a CT scan, man, check everything out. Make sure that spinal cord is fused up pretty good and strong, ready to get back out there and hit.
Mm-hmm. So Dolphins, y'all hear that, man? He putting the
You
bid
hear
in
that?
right now.
Hey, and Dolphins fan, man. Tyreek Hill, athletes, man. I don't know, man. And I know this is a sensitive subject, but I'm going ahead and put it out there. You know, being that I'm in the predicament myself, so you know I can't be a hypocrite, so I can speak up. You understand what I'm saying? And I can't understand for the life of me why these athletes like Tyreek Hill allegedly do not get a prenuptial agreement with their spouse when they decide to get married. Athletes have to understand we are the ones who work so hard for our money, not the woman. And then you let the woman just come swindle all the money without having to put in any work is like one of the worst diabolical things a man can do to himself.
She put that work in. She laid there. What you talking about?
Oh, man. Why put ourselves in situations without any protections, and we don't have to. We simply don't have to. Why are we forcing ourselves to get married without any protection? Do y'all know, do athletes even understand a prenuptial agreement can be written out however somebody wants it to be read or however you want it to read? Basically, if you want to give her all your money, you can write that in there. I want her to have all my money. You understand? So they have to be fair or they won't hold up in court. Athletes, you need to hear this. Don't get married until you talk about these type of things with your spouse. Because it seems like athletes think it's a crime to ask these women to sign an agreement before they ask a woman to sign an agreement and marry them. You sign an agreement to marry you, but you're scared to ask them to sign another agreement, and they all agreements. I don't know what the difference is. Because marriage is basically a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't a woman be asked to sign a separate contract? She definitely will sign it. She's going to sign that marriage contract. Think about it. If a woman decides not to sign a prenuptial agreement, it's a lose-lose for her. And you, the rich one or the one that made it in the NFL, she's going to look stupid when you walk around with your next woman because she didn't want to sign, because she decided she wanted everything you worked hard for. That is the stupidest concept in my mind, and I've just that I've seen. And Tyreek Hill, man, Tyreek Hill fell for the bait and switch. He straight fell for the bait and switch. You ever heard of the bait and switch? Boy, he felt for this, man, and he seen it coming. I think allegedly, all this stuff is allegedly. I think he was married for like 17 months, tried to get the marriage annulled, and that didn't work. He found out all these lawyers and all these money. You don't know that it was too late to get the marriage annulled. Like, what is going on? It's like, what advice? He probably kept it a secret from his lawyers when he got married. That's the type of stuff we think about doing. It's like, no, I'm not going to tell my financial advisor. I'm not going to tell my lawyer. I'm not going to tell none of the people that's trying to protect me, because guess what? This needs to be a secret. My marriage needs to be secret because they don't like my wife and I don't want them to know. So after I'm done and it's all done and I signed the paperwork, that's when I tell my lawyer and my financial advisor I got married. And then they're going to look at you like you the stupidest fool ever. Dudes get to the NFL, man, be so green with money, and women because they simply are not used to the attention that they're all of a sudden getting from the ladies. That was the difference with me, man. I've been hood rich since about the 6th, 7th grade. I've been outside stunting in cars, all that. I had the ladies. I was used to these experiences. These athletes been athletes their whole life, and they haven't been outside. So these experiences are new to them. They don't know what to do with it. Dudes didn't have any swag before they were professional athletes or had money. They didn't have the confidence to try to date a bad woman or approach one. Now all of a sudden athletes start to believe they cute. These athletes, Tyreek Hill think he's cute all of a sudden.
I mean, and he lived a totally different life from Kansas City to Miami.
Exactly. His 3-year pitchers coming into the NFL to like, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, girls never liked them before. They never got this much attention. Now they sign a $100 million deal. They don't think the women like them because of their money. They think they like them because these athletes think they cute for some reason. You know what I mean? The only reason you cute because of that money, man. You know what? Chat, y'all do this for me real quick. Y'all blow this up. Y'all Google Tyreek Hill high school and junior college pictures, man. And y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all tell me y'all believe, dude, Tyreek Hill is used to getting the women. You know what I mean? Tell me, do you think Tyreek Hill ever in his life is used to getting the women? Google Tyreek Hill. Let's look at his high school pictures and his JUCO pictures. And I'm sure we're going to come up with something that is something we can laugh about and have a good conversation. Just put it like that. You know what I mean? I always hear women say, man, money do make you look better. I guess it changes up your swag. You get different haircuts. It just builds confidence in people, I guess, man. I don't know, man. I'm confident regardless of with the money, without the money, with nice clothes on, with raggedy clothes on. I'm the same confident guy. Just give me a brush, let me brush my hair. That's it. I might be a little unconfident with the nappy head, you know what I mean? But Tyreek Hill, man, he's on the hook for having to pay thousands upon thousands of dollars per month to his ex-wife. All because he didn't want to make sure she just simply signed a prenup agreement and made sure he had that in place. All because he didn't want to make sure a prenuptial agreement was in place. It's that simple. Just because you didn't bring that and she didn't do this, now you have to pay tons and tons of money, tons of thousands of dollars.
They say he got to pay a lump sum of $500,000 and then between $20,000 and $50,000 each month.
For how long?
It don't have how long. It just say $20,000 to $50,000 each month.
You know, when they're doing alimony and stuff, it's probably for the time period they was married, so it's probably like 17 months. But $500,000 up front, dang, how much? $50,000 per month is about $600 something a year. Man, listen, man, with 8 kids, is any of that child support? Oh man, this is all bad, man. This is all bad. You understand, man, how long Tyreek Hill has to play to maintain his lifestyle and maintain that child support with all these kids, man. Things, man, Tyreek Hill, man.
Child support gonna keep coming when he's done playing.
Stop thinking you cute, brother. That's what you got to do, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, you got to stop walking around here thinking you cute, thinking it's okay. These girls like you, they don't like you. You short and you the same little guy from high school, brother. You're not cute anymore. You're not cute. I mean, you never turned cute, brother. You're the same Tyreek Hill, brother, with a little money, man. But we got to talk about Tyreek Hill, friend. You know, I always have some beef and trouble with Tyreek Hill, friend. Mr. Antonio Brown. Mr. Antonio Brown, step to the table. Yes, we're going to have some fun tonight on Say What Needs to Be Said. You know, and y'all know I'm a problem for Antonio Brown in these social media streets. Boy, he hate me in these social media streets. AB can't troll in peace without me being a distraction, boy. Man, AB. You know one thing about AB? AB can only handle being trolled. AB can only handle trolling people online in the worst way. But as soon as AB get trolled and it's something that sticks, oh man, he is a sensitive little guy. Oh, let me tell you, AB is a sensitive little guy, yeah. And it hurts the little guy feelings when he is trolled back and put in his place. And there's a lot of attention gained from him being trolled. Oh, he hates that. The poor guy runs from accountability, as we can see, and plays victim when he is the problem. He causes the problem and then tries to play victim. And let me show y'all this tweet right here. This is the tweet that got AB in his feelings because he can't handle getting trolled by Mr. Pick 6. And let me show y'all. So this is what I said. Of course, this is AB at the bottom. Whole Sanders fam gonna end up getting cut out of the league. And you know how I feel about this. Him keep attacking people, kids, on purpose for no reason, going out his way. Then you know what I said. Huh? The obvious. Turn yourself in, fool. That's what I should have said. Turn yourself in, fool. Go talk about the Sanders family with your Sally.
Where he at? He not in America? He's still not in America?
Oh man, he's not in America. He's in the Middle East somewhere, hiding.
He's still over there.
But I got a plan. Don't listen. I got a plan to get AB back over here. And guess what? It doesn't stop right there. This is where you see the sensitivity in AB. He can't reply back to me on Twitter. He has to go sneak around and find somewhere that he think he's gonna hurt my feelings, like I'm sensitive like him. Look, boy, you the only one that's sensitive, boy. See him at the bottom? Y'all gotta look real closely. This is a picture of my daughter on her prom night, middle school prom night, graduation night, whatever you want to call it. And he goes and writes fish tank. Fish tank. If anybody understands what that means, please help me out, because I don't know what it means. Whatever it means.
I thought you knew. I think that was.
Make me understand what that means.
Something.
You write under the picture fish tank with me and my daughter looking beautiful, having a great time, about to go out and enjoy herself. Some things that you might need to start doing with yours. You know what I'm saying? But let me know. Get back with me and let me know what that means, because I'm totally clueless. You know what I mean? But don't worry, man. Y'all listen up, man. Y'all listen up loud and clear, because I'm going to need y'all help with this, man. Don't worry. I have a perfect plan. I have the perfect plan for Antonio Brown. And this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. I want some rec with AB. If y'all got any friends who've been to prison before, you may know what I'm talking about. I want some rec.
Oh.
If you got some friends that have been to prison, you never talked about rec, go ask them what rec is. And this is what we're going to do, AB, because since I want some rec, and there's only one way I can get some rec with you, we're going to hit up your partner, Aiden Ross, to set up a boxing match between me and you, AB. Not just so we can duke it out. This is also so you can take care of your legal issues with the proceeds of the boxing event. I will make sure the victim will agree to set aside your charges, and my lawyer will work with the prosecutor to make sure everything you're dealing with is put to the side so you can get back to the country safely and move around freely. This is what we're going to do for you, AB. But you have to promise you won't have any crazy outbursts when my lawyer asks the judge for permission to let you be free in America while preparing for this boxing event. Antonio Brown, I got the perfect plan, baby. Also, AB, you have to agree. You have to agree to make at least 5 posts every day or every other day leading up to the fight on your reels. Got to make 5 real posts leading up to the fight. We need your promotion, baby. We need your promotion. And I got the name. I know you're going to like this name. Hey, I thought about you when I made the name, AB. We will call the event the CTE Challenge. Yeah. The CTE Challenge, AB. I know you down with this one, baby. The CTE Challenge. We will use your portion of the money from the event to pay off all your creditors, as well as whoever else is trying to enforce any judgments they have against you, my brother. Everything is going to be clean. You're going to have a clean slate. You can remove your bankruptcy pleadings, whatever you got going on in bankruptcy court. You don't have to go lie to them people anymore. We will keep your earnings in an escrow account till everything is satisfied, and then we will give you the leftovers. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone would be willing to put the money in your hands or anything that gives you access to it. So don't even think about that happening. Don't even think about you can negotiate in this situation. You have no leverage for negotiation here. You know, we need you for your promotions. You know what I mean? And I'm going out on a limb on this one, AB, so don't make me look bad. Please don't make me look bad. You know, I'm trying to help you fix all this mess you done caused and stirred up for no reason. Maybe you got 17, 18, 19 million followers. You know, we can sell out an arena for sure. You know, we get some undercards, we get some, you know, some other boxing matches up under us, you know, maybe get a heavyweight up in there.
It is man, Le'Veon Bell, he be boxing.
Yeah, we can get us a heavyweight up in there. Everybody like to see those knockouts, you know what I mean? You know? But yeah, AB, man, you'll sell out the arena for sure. You know, you don't have anything to lose at this point. Think about it. Think about it. In the meantime, I need y'all help. We all got to hit up Aiden Ross. We got to hit Aiden Ross up, hit the brother up and tell him we got some work to do, man. Aiden Ross, hit me up if you hear this. If we don't hit you up, but get with me, man. Mr. Pick Six, we're trying to do this, the CT challenge between Antonio Brown and myself, man. We need to get in the ring and we need to handle some things, you know what I mean? And hey, don't worry, AB or whoever else, man, I don't involve myself with any of that fake gangster shit that, you know, you want to act gangster and tough like that. I don't want anything to do with none of that gangster thuggerism of whatever y'all be on, man. Them days is long gone behind me. I don't want no part of that gangster shit. I am not affiliated with none of that stuff. I am a graduate from the University of Central Florida. You know what I mean? Oh, one more thing, Aiden Ross and Antonio Brown. I got the perfect promoter to promote the fight. Yes, I got the perfect promoter to promote the fight. Anyone want to guess who that is?
Who that?
Come on, y'all got to guess. Come on, man. You got to guess.
Ocho?
Come on, y'all got to guess who the promoter is. Please, 10 seconds, countdown. Somebody in the chat, please. Who going to promote the fight between me and AB? This is a no-brainer, man. 5 seconds left.
I'm saying Ocho. Ocho, he gonna want to fight himself. Ocho gonna want to fight himself. He like, put me on the card.
Who will promote the fight between me and AB? Nobody guessing. Charleston White, brother.
Man,
man. To promote the fight, man. Oh, you know this is about to be a sold-out lit event. You know what I mean? Charleston White will make sure the event is completely sold out. And also, we're going to have Charleston White host the event. You know, he a funny mother effer. You know what I mean? He know how to get down and keep the party going, you know? But let me tell y'all a funny story about AB, man, and this is going to be the last thing before we get up out here, man. You know, I got a son that's been moving around these streets trying to make it to the NFL, and eventually he did, right? AB don't even realize I was about to go square up with him back in the days. He don't even know it. My son called me after a workout he had with Antonio Brown, and he called me, was like, AB, he was like, Pops, AB kicked me off the field, man, because I was locking him down, and he ain't like that because he got the cameras out there, and he tried to say I was holding him and stuff, and he kicked me off the field. So on the phone, my son, after a few words, I just said, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And he knew exactly what that means. I took off immediately. I'm speeding. I'm heading to AB's workout facility so he could get this wreck, get this work. You know what I mean? I'm beelining. My son know how I get down. Ain't no secrets about it. So my son called me back about 5-10 minutes later. I don't know if something came over to him. He understood what was about to happen. You know, my son called me after I was speeding to AB, and he was like, "No, Dad, don't worry about it. Don't come. It's straight." You know? And out of respect for my son, I didn't come. But he doesn't understand how bad it hurt me to not come. Just to feel like someone have the right to act like that when, you know how I feel about the younger generation. You're supposed to be teaching and motivating and inspiring these young men out here. You want to talk crazy and greasy and kick them off the field. Now, I don't know every side of the story, but you was about to catch that wreck and we would have talked about it afterwards, you know what I mean? But AB know exactly what I'm talking about. And y'all know I'm not a liar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He just didn't know he was about to get this work right there on that field. He thought he was going to be training. You know what I mean? So, AB, man, we ain't got nothing to lose. This will be one of the biggest boxing matches in the history of. This will be a bigger boxing match than Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. I promise you, because you coming back, we're going to agree to get everybody. We're going to get all your victims to set aside the charges. We're going to use all the proceeds to pay off any creditors you have, any judgments that may be lingering, anything that you have outstanding, brother. We're going to fix everything, brother. And yes, yeah, man. I don't see you have anything to lose, man.
Let's make it happen.
It's gonna be a great with same weight class. You might be a little bit heavier than me. You know what I mean? But it's all good. I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? I ain't tripping. You may be a little bit heavier than me. Pretty much same weight class. You know what I mean? And yeah.
Man, I'd love to see that, man. Let's make it happen. Let's make it
happen, man. Hey, anybody out there, please, y'all hit up Aiden Ross. Make sure y'all send him these clips. Y'all could tag him. But most of all, make sure y'all like this live. And also make sure y'all subscribe. Because I seen somebody in the chat say this channel should be at 250K subscribers. And we not even close yet. And he's 100% right. You know what I mean? Yes, we're independent. This is independent media over here. We don't have no big backing and everything like that. Everything in life is just how we doing right here. This is how my whole life been. I had to get it from the mud. Got to get it from the muscle, man.
For sure.
That's how we like it. But y'all like that because y'all see when we get it from the muscle, then we grow. You grow with me. We all grow together, and it just everything just feel immaculate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Talk that shit, man. Talk that shit, baby. If y'all can see me on the football field, boy, y'all be dying to come to practice every day to come practice and see me talk that shit, baby. I love to talk that shit. You feel me? Hey, who want to talk that shit with me, man? But it's Thursday night vibes. We're gonna be on here tomorrow night, man. Coach Prime, he has a lot of work to do tomorrow against Georgia Tech, man. And he named his starter. And I was surprised, man. He named Jaden Salter, the senior. Transfer from Liberty will be the starter tomorrow, man. I don't know how he plans on using the freshman. He said he was going to use 2 quarterbacks, Juju Lewis, but I don't know if he really plans on doing that. So we're going to be full in. All eyes will be on Coach Prime to see how he handle business tomorrow, and we will be on here to talk about it. And y'all let me know whatever else we have to talk about because, we like the vibe. So it's Thursday night vibe. It's Mr. Pick Six. Say what needs to be said, and that's 2-3.
Yeah, let's go, man. Let's be
out for the night. Thursday night vibes. We'll see y'all Friday.